Welcome back to CruiseAway here on Gecko. It's wonderful to see you again. And are you ready for some extra special luxury cruise trips around the world? We are going to be serving up the best of indulgent yacht-filled cruising with Oceania, Seabourn and Azamara in this show. And that means more included as part of your attentive adventures, smaller passenger numbers and cruising to more remote destinations for a truly authentic experience. And we'll get started straight away with a dream trip from Sydney to Singapore with Oceania Cruises for March, taking a deeper dive into our own shores as well as those of Papua New Guinea and Indonesia. We'll start in Sydney on the 10th of March, boarding Oceania Regatta. Oh my word, these ships are incredible. You are cruising with just 670 passengers on board. That hopefully sets the scene for this wonderful experience. This is really attentive service because for 670 passengers, and that's at full capacity, there are 400 crew. And that is brilliant. And that means you are never waiting. And that means that nothing is ever too much trouble. You are going to love it. All of your dining is included. There are lovely welcome amenities when you arrive as well. You are going to love it. Open seating dining. You dine where you want and when you want. A very relaxed and informal atmosphere on board. A team on board who will literally cater to your every whim. I mean, they are so wonderful, they are so friendly. It's almost not like a crew and passenger situation at all. It becomes like one big friendship circle. It really does. You have any questions, you have any queries, you like your coffee a certain way, you like your pizza a certain way, whatever it might be, all of that completely and utterly catered for, because this is a luxury experience. So this is a holiday that we're investing a little bit more in, but what it delivers back in service, relaxation, and that feeling of being taken out of your everyday life to something utterly and completely different. This is the thing I love about luxury cruising, is it's not about the price, it's about the experience. It's about the way that meal times are a conversation and they are a relaxed affair. They're a calm affair. There's not people buzzing around at all. It's nice and calm. Your steak is cooked the way you like it. It is paired with the wines that you like or recommended by the 5-star sommeliers that are on board. The team on board who serve you in the restaurants, for instance, and recommend wines have been recruited from luxury establishments right the way around the world. So these cruise lines very much do focus on service and experience, and also enrichment as well. There are wonderful guest speakers that come on board. They have a program on board called Enrich the Mind and Soul, with lots of different activities for you to get involved with, guest speakers that come on board and either talk about their specialism or the part of the world that you're sailing in. So the whole experience is very, very immersive. You will be very reluctant to get off this, let me tell you. You're on board for 20 nights and you will savour every single one of them and come back, I guarantee, completely refreshed. And of course, we're setting sail from our own shores in Sydney, cruising out after a day at sea to Brisbane. There's a highlights tour here, including the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary, which is the first and largest of its kind in the world, which would be quite nice to see. A day at sea and we cruise up to Airlie Beach for the Whitsundays, and you can take a crocodile safari here as well down the Proserpine River, which is teeming with the saltwater crocs there and lots of other wildlife, and you can ride across the plains in an open air wagon too. To Cairns next, where a brilliant tour on the Regatta would take you into a duck rainforest nature park tour with free time in Corunda. And you can look for arts and opals in the shopping experiences there. A day at sea and we're in Alatau in Papua New Guinea. Time to immerse in the local culture here, sightseeing, visit the local village to meet the locals here, making crafts in the traditional ways that go back hundreds of years, and see local performances maybe. Into Port Moresby next, where you can see in the Papuan capital, a highlights tour of the National Museum, stroll the adventure park, see the views from the Burns Peak, and visit the National Parliament House. You can do all of that in a single tour, by the way. 2 days at sea, and we're at the top end in Darwin. Now, a jumping crocodile cruise is a great thing to do here along the Adelaide River. Great for capturing photos of the crocs as they do their leaping all of a sudden. A day at sea to Komodo, where the dragons are. They're less leaping, but they are a size, and a local guide there can take you to see them in their natural habitat. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience, just awe-inspiring. Next, we head across to Bali, into Benoit. Now, we're here for an overnight, so 2 full days, so plenty of things you can enjoy here. There's evening experience tours here with Oceania from the regatta. You can take a tour to the Royal Temple Complex, to Tanalot by the sea, and watch the locals making incredible batik clothing as well. To Surabaya next, with a wonderful heritage tour on offer here, where you can visit the wonderful community village and also visit 5-star resorts here. That Mount Semeru looks pretty impressive, doesn't it? And pretty active by the looks too. Semarang in Java next in Indonesia. Such a nice idea here is to head to the Railway Museum, take a vintage steam train through the hills of Java and then tour a coffee plantation and taste the roasts at the same time, which would be a lovely experience. A day at sea and we are in Singapore. Now, we stay overnight on regatta for a night here and then leave her behind for a 2-night hotel stay. And there is an Oceania tour in Singapore where you can ride in a 2-person cable car and do loops between Mount Faber and Sentosa Island, enjoying a 4-course meal while riding in your own private cable car, which sounds lovely. And you can see the sparkling lights of Singapore from as high as 300 feet in the air, which would be a lovely experience to do while you're with Oceania. And then after your couple of nights in a hotel in Singapore, then you'll fly it back to Sydney. Oh my word, I don't even know where to begin with this. This is such a lovely, remember with these luxury cruise lines as well, you visit the less visited ports in Indonesia on this particular itinerary in Papua New Guinea. Not only that, but they will provide the shuttle services as well into the ports if they're needed. And also you spend a longer day in a lot of these ports as well. So where some cruise ships may leave at, as early as 3 or 4 in the afternoon, you'll be there, sometimes late into the evening as well. So it's wonderful. So very, very indulgent trip from CruiseAway, this one, but very nice indeed. The best of everything. Sailing on Oceania Regatta from Sydney in Oz, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea in March, with so many inclusions on your cruise and sailing with less than 700 passengers on board, with 20 nights of cruising, ending with your overnight in Singapore, a further 2 nights in a hotel there, and then your flight back to Sydney. I'm going to put the price there onto your screen. This is about escaping into another world. So this for me is not about the price tag. This is about experience. And once you've cruised this way with fewer passengers, with a more upscale offering, with so much more included, you will get very, very used to it, let me tell you. And this, the luxury cruise sector, is the biggest growing part of the cruise market right now. If you do need national flights on this one, we can add those to your offer, no problem. Just speak to our team here, 1300 408 765. Now let's look at the upgrades available on Oceania Regatta here. You have ocean view, you have balcony, and you have suite prices. Obviously, as you upgrade further, inclusions grow for you as well on these luxury cruise ships. They are amazing. It is just the best way in the world if you can do it. It might be a landmark holiday, but it's the most incredible experience while you are on board. So again, any more details you need for that, 1300 408 765, and all the Oceania sailings around the world are also available on our website at cruiseaway.com.au. But it certainly is living the high life, let me tell you, where this is not about price tags, this is about experience. And having done it myself, you just get it straight away as soon as you step onto one of these ships, where everything becomes and feels like it's tailored around you. Wonderful, absolutely incredible. And it's just the start, because we've got 2 more fabulous experiences. We're off next on an expedition journey to the further regions of Indonesia and the islands of the Pacific, with just over 260 passengers on board this time, and this is some adventure to behold. So many destinations never seen before by me on cruise itineraries ever. So it's a 29-night trip, and it starts on the 1st of September by flying from Sydney to Darwin, and we are going to enjoy a 3-night hotel stay up in Darwin. Maybe you're already closer. You could start the holiday in Darwin if you wanted to. Lots to do while you're there as well. If you haven't been up for a wee while, there's the Litchfield National Park up there for the waterfalls, the swimming holes and the scenery. There's jumping crocodile cruises on the Adelaide River available. There's the Aviation Museum with aircraft going back to World War II. There's the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory, which has wonderful art, history and culture. There's the George Brown Darwin Botanical Gardens to have a little wander around as well. And Mindil Beach Sunset Markets. Enjoy the live music and the food down there. Absolutely amazing. 3 nights there in a hotel. This time we are sailing with Seabourn on an expedition cruise on the Seabourn Pursuit. Now, Seabourn is, again, just the height of luxury, but the Seabourn expedition experiences are even more select. We're looking at around about 260 passengers on board and a full expedition crew on board, because this isn't just about visiting these destinations. This is about diving into the heart and soul of places where cruise ships don't go into. These little untapped territories. In fact, I've been looking at videos of some of the places that we are going to on this itinerary, and there are very few people who have been here. There is very little tourism at all, so to take a cruise experience into them is going to be something very, very special. So many inclusions while you're on board. Everyone has sea view accommodation on board with Seabourn, with your wonderful sofa and dining table, marble bathroom fixtures, Molton Brown products in the bathroom for you. All the restaurants on board included. All of your drinks are included, fine wines, premium spirits, welcome champagne, your minibar stocked all of the way through. All of your service charges are included. High-speed Starlink Wi-Fi is part of the offering as well, which is super, super fast. Obviously, it comes from satellite. And the ships themselves are great. Now, because this is an expedition ship, they actually take adventures out on very small little Zodiac boats. All part of the experience and all including optional excursions that you can be part of. There are additional excursions for very, very special experiences if you want to, but this is all about enjoying the very, very best of the destinations, and you have a full expedition team on board as well. So actually you go to the expedition lounge and you'll actually attend briefings for places that you are going to explore. It's really, really incredible. It's something far beyond a regular cruising experience. This really is, if you ever see the series Below Deck, this is that kind of experience, because we're talking at just a couple of hundred, or so passengers. They do have the submarines as well, which, you can use and you can book up to further enhance the experience in these places too. Wait until we talk you through the journey. It is stunning, and I have never seen anything like it before in the whole of the industry, and that tells me this is something very, very different indeed, because this particular expedition is taking us to parts of Indonesia hardly seen by any tourists. We're going into Agats in Papua in Indonesia. There are wonderful museums there to see the local arts, wander the wooden boardwalks through the swamps, take a trip to Flamingo Bay, see the rainforest. We're going into Kokas in West Papua. You can see the Kokas Cave there as well, underground, lush rainforests. We're also going to Misolya Pap Lagoon, which is a truly remote island paradise with limestone formations, coral reefs, mangrove forest. This footage is just giving you a small glimpse through the letterbox at the kind of experiences. You're also going into Yepawpa, Raja Ampat on Gam Island. Now, this is one of the most remote places to go and visit. I've never ever seen it on any itineraries before. Natural coral reefs like you're seeing right now, which you can swim, snorkel, use the submarines that Seabourn have on board the Pursuit as well. You go into Mansur Island in Indonesia, which is just 3 or 4 villages on the island. So these are places that don't have a big tourist infrastructure, and that's great for these expedition cruises because you can see their natural wonders without seeing the crowds and the big resort hotels. You go into Manokwari as well, which is the capital of West Papua, which is a little quiet coastal town, very laid back, the Arfak Mountains with stunning scenery and mammals that are found nowhere else on Earth. You explore by Zodiac the Cenderawasih Bay as well for 2 whole days, which is the largest marine national park in Southeast Asia. It's incredible. More destinations in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. And we finish our adventure in the Solomon Islands as well. You're going through those, and we end in Lautoka in Fiji. We have a 3-night hotel stay here before we then fly back. Now, Lautoka is the 2nd largest city in Fiji, and you'll have great times. Now, I didn't have time to go into great detail on all of these destinations. What you might want to do is take a snapshot of some of those places and go and look up the videos, of which there are very few out there on YouTube, and just see how remote these places are in Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands, places where hardly anybody ever visits. This is the ultimate yacht feel expedition experience with Seabourn, with included excursions and adventures along the way. All your dining, drinks, and so many more inclusions. So the flight from Sydney to Darwin included 3 nights there in a hotel, 23 nights on the excursion on the Seabourn Pursuit, ending in Lautoka in Fiji with a 3-night hotel stay there, and the flight back to Sydney in a veranda suite. The most personalised experience, tailored experience for you, something unlike any other cruising experience you will ever have seen. Remember, we are looking at just 260 passengers on board. Now, that's a very, very small number, and that's a very personal service. That's the best fine dining, that's all drinks included, that's included expeditions and excursions along the far-flung reaches of this wonderful itinerary. Let's just check on all of the details for this experience. It is amazing, and I'm so sorry I haven't got longer to go further into the details there. I could have done the whole half an hour just on this one experience, but I want to get many rich and varied experiences into one show. But there's so much more to tell. And the full itinerary, by the way, and everything you're doing is on our website at cruiseaway.com.au. Just use that cruise ID at the top of the screen there. Pop that into the website and you'll get much more detail than I had time to go into on that one, but it's certainly an experience never to forget. Again, these are not about the price, they are about the experience completely and utterly. So call us now, 1300 408 765. Right then, another deeper and richer itinerary next on board with Azamara. More inclusive luxury cruising to Japan and South Korea. Again, spending longer in less visited ports. No waiting around on this one. 18 nights, and it starts on the 22nd of April in 2026, flying from Sydney to Tokyo, the capital of Japan, for 2 nights there in a hotel. Tokyo, very much a mix of old and new, as well as I'm sure a lot of you know. Head to the Meiji Shrine if you get the chance. It's in a forest right up there in Shibuya. It's a Shinto shrine there. It's absolutely beautiful. Very peaceful retreat in the heart of a city. There's the Imperial Palace, which you can go and visit as well, which is home to Japan's emperor. The East Gardens to go and see. Oh my word, I could be here for half an hour talking you through Tokyo. But what I want to highlight on this holiday is your cruise 50 nights on Azamara Pursuit. Again, another one of those luxury cruise experiences. Fewer passengers on board. We're looking somewhere between 700 and 800 passengers on board this one. The ship can hold many more passengers, but they keep the occupancy low, so you have that feeling of space, relaxation, attention and service. Lots included. All of the most incredible dining options, most of which are included, which is great. Longer stays in port, as is the thing with these luxury cruise lines. Beers, wines and spirits included. Soft drinks, or your specialty teas and coffees, snacks and drinks right through the day and night. More overnight stays, night tours. And with these smaller ships, they dock in prime locations. So there's not a big, there's not a big hoo-ha from getting from the cruise ship into the actual centre. There's no waiting for a particular slot for you to actually go ashore, which is great. They have shuttle services to and from the ports as well. I would love to talk you through the fabulous restaurants like Prime Sea, the steakhouse, the Italian Aquilina, which is included there for you as well. Casual dining included, 24-hour room service also included, including a full dinner menu where you can enjoy your dinner in your stateroom, course by course, delivered. So if you're fancying just a quiet night in, you can. If you want a busy night out, they have their famous white night party and buffet, which is really good fun. Everyone's got something white, so that's always good fun, isn't it? Just again, a more immersive experience, and Japan is somewhere you really want to see in detail. So we've had our couple of nights in a hotel in Tokyo. We're cruising out of Yokohama and we're heading into Hakodate first on the southern tip of Hokkaido. Enjoy the views from Mount Hakodate here, take the ropeway for a ride up the mountain, and there's a wonderful park nearby as well, which is absolutely stunning. Next, we head to Sakata. Sakata has a wonderful Soko storehouse, which is a historic rice warehouse that offers sake tasting as well. And there's also a art museum, which is stunning there, and some Japanese gardens. I mean, that's what you want to see when you're in Japan. Toyama is next, where you can visit Japan's tallest dam, the Kurobe Dam, and you can also learn there about how that's a major power source in Japan as well. There's a glass art museum here too that you might want to visit. Lots of excursions available. Sakai Minato, an excursion here, takes you to the Adachi Museum of Art and the Yushien Garden to explore the Japanese art and nature here. Again, so many experiences and just a beautiful time of year to enjoy it as well, just as everything's in full bloom. Busan is next in South Korea. Lots to do here, including the Busan Tower for the views, wonderful resort parks with lots of scenic walks. There's the lighthouse and views over the sea, and one of the largest department stores in South Korea. But that's really interesting, actually. Back into Japan and Hiroshima. Now you have a longer day in port here, right the way through until 10 p.m. when you sail off. Head up to Hijiyama Park here for the zoos and the just incredible views across the city. A day at sea and we're in Takamatsu, which is on the Seto Inland Sea, looking out over the wonderful Sanuki mountain range. There are castle ruins here. You can visit tea houses and the brand new waterfront. We're into Kobe next for an overnight, so 2 full days here, so you can enjoy the evening too. Visit a traditional onsen hot spring resort maybe in the city. Head to the Nara district and visit a sake brewery maybe, or head to the famous Nunobiki waterfalls, which are right next to a wonderful rainforest. Shimizu is next, which is obviously it's Mount Fuji, which is the big attraction here, but the port itself is great for walking and shopping, and there's a big Ferris wheel there. You can visit also shrines and temples. We come back into Yokohama, which is the port for Tokyo, and stay overnight on board the Azamara Pursuit before we come off and spend a night in Tokyo before we then fly back. So again, you've got a second bite of the cherry here in Tokyo. So maybe you've done, sort of old ancient sites for your first stay. And then maybe now it's time to see the modern and the brand new Tokyo before you then fly back to Sydney. Again, your inclusions on board are many and plenty. It's a luxury cruise experience, so you are spending longer in these ports. There are excursion opportunities at every one of the ports, and it's great to have the extra time to really drink in. I mean, lots of the tours will take in 2 or 3 large attractions in a day, which is a great thing, but also because they have their own shuttle services, they can get you straight into the heart of where you've ported into, and you can go and explore as you want to. It's lovely. Now, we are early booking now because this is a very, very popular trip. Japan always is. So we're booking now for 2026 to lock in an amazing price tag. The flight from Sydney to Tokyo, 2 nights in a hotel there, and then 15 nights of cruising with Azamara on the Pursuit, going through Japan and South Korea, ending with your overnight in Yokohama and then another night in a hotel in Tokyo before you then fly back to Sydney. Again, the price tag here, I think, for how you're immersing into so many different regions in Japan and across into South Korea as well. Stunning for the experience. And again, these luxury cruises are less about the attention on the price, because this is investing in the experience of luxury cruising, which is everything laid before you. The finest afternoon teas, the finest wonderful dining, you know, food included, drink included, enrichment included, and so much more, like staying ports for longer in ports. And seeing more interesting ports and going right into the heart of those places. It's amazing. Let's look at your upgrades here. So if you do want that ultimate luxury experience to ocean view or balcony, you can book this with a deposit today. Just talk to our team on 1300 408 765. Again, if you have any other questions, because we've shown you 3 different luxury cruising lines in this show. So if you have questions about certain inclusions, or you want to make adjustments to the package, or anything you want to know that I haven't covered in this show, because I only have half an hour at a time and sometimes you have to pick and choose the detail you go into, but if there's anything else you want to know, please do talk to our team, because they've got the time to go through. They know the product, they know the ships, they've been on board, they know what you need to take and what to expect on board, how many formal nights, all of that kind of thing that you might want to know when booking something like this. 1300 408 765. Please make use of that, because what you're doing there is you're tapping into, you're not calling a call center, by the way, you know, that's far remote somewhere else. You're speaking to our cruise specialists that are based here in Oz. And our combined experience is over 25 years worth. So every question has come along in that time, I promise you. So please don't be afraid. And on a free call as well, no obligation, 1300 408 765, and to speak to our wonderful and very, very talented team. They do all the hard work. I get the easy job. I get to deliver you the joys of the top line of the holiday. They do all the hard work, working to negotiate with the hotel brands around the world, with the airlines, and of course with the cruise brands as well. And we deal with all of the luxury cruise brands. They're all on our website at cruiseaway.com.au. So any luxury cruising inquiries that you've got, all you've got to do again is just have a little search on our website, or put a call into our team right now on 1300 408 765. Well, half an hour is not enough. I'm going to have to ask for longer shows, I think, aren't I? But we are here 3 times a day, which is a great thing. Here on Gecko, new shows all of the time at 10 in the morning and 1 and 4 in the afternoon. So if you fancy a break from everyday life and talking holidays, come back and cruise away again very soon. Bye-bye.